My male cousin had an affair on his wife. They have 3 kids. After quitting his job, they started to live with his in-law parents. My cousin's mistress got pregnant. She decided to quit her job. She was evicted from her previous rental, leaving my nephew homeless. My cousin's wife tried to work things out. I ended having a lot of family pressure to allow my cousin's mistress and my nephew to move into my rental, to try and create a stable environment for my nephew. Eventually, we made a couple of conditions. Number 1, pay $4 monthly. Most of it goes to the cost of the utilities. 2, no cats. The mistress quickly agreed, since the rent is extremely cheap and she will be starting her new job soon. The first month, I received 1/3 of the rent. Then, the last 6 months, nothing at all. It's become a burden to me to keep them there. I am working additional hours to cover the expenses. My cousin's mistress never went to work. I have tried to talk to them, trying to work things out. It's going nowhere. I gave his mistress a 6-day notice to move. During that time, I found out she was pregnant. My cousin's wife kicked him out, and he moved into my rental with his mistress. They did not leave after the 6 days. They ignored my attempts to talk to them, so I served a 1-day notice. Still no reply, so I went to court and filed for an eviction. Since they were served, my phone has not stopped. Just about every family member has called upset. My mom told me to finish it. She feels like my cousin needs to man up and take care of his kids, both from his wife and mistress. My mom told me to put my kids first. My dad, however, is livid. He told me I would be responsible if my nephew and the new baby will be taken away from CAPS. He said my kids are old enough to understand Dad's working extra hours in name of supporting family. He feels like I should continue working overtime and paying for their expenses until the new baby arrives in 6 months. Am I the A for kicking my cousin's pregnant mistress to the curb? I also found out she wasn't using any birth control. As of right now, the court date is Thursday afternoon. I should find out there if the judge will allow additional time for them to stay. In most cases, it's 72 hours. Unless I drop it or allow more time. Last, my wife and I have talked about taking the babies into our home. Just them. It's a major change for our kids. We feel like it's something we need more time to decide. My dad showed up to my house the other day. It's quite the drive. He has been angry. I invited him in to have lunch with me and my kids. After my kids left with my wife trick-or-treating, he tried again to allow my cousins to stay. He said with their health, they couldn't allow them to stay in their home. I told him that I feel like I'm enabling my cousin to not take responsibility for all of his children. I told him I am tired of working nonstop for something who is more than capable of working. He left mad. I will see my cousin for the first time since he was served tomorrow at court. It will be interesting for sure. I'm a little heartbroken, but it needs to happen. My hope is the judge doesn't extend the time they have in my rental. I feel like it will just make things harder. So I went to court today. My cousin and his mistress didn't show up. The judge did a good job. He ruled in my favor. My cousin has to be out by Monday. If he's not, the constable can remove him and his mistress on Tuesday morning once the court opens up. Everything was good until my wife asked the judge if we are responsible to notify my cousin of ruling since he was not there. The judge said we could pay for the constable to deliver a copy of the ruling today. I gave the constable all the info, including when both my cousin and mistress would be home. After I left the court, I got a call from my parents, both on the line. I told my dad the constable would deliver the court ruling to my cousin to give them the maximum time to prepare the move. My dad was dead silent. My mom burst into laughter. I was then informed the reason my cousin and his mistress did not come to court was they had outstanding warrants knew nothing about, so there is a good chance they will be arrested today. I cannot enter the rental until next Sunday, if I'm present when they go to remove my cousin and his mistress. I was told today if they are not gone, they will have 2 minutes to get or whatever before they are removed by the police. About the ex-wife. His wife moved in with her parents. She became a stay-at-home mom when their son started to have back-to-back seizures. The child now needs constant care. However, her parents support her. The wife is now working full-time at the front desk of an office. She's wanting to go to school in August to do respite care for sick children. They moved in with her parents when my cousin decided he did not want to work anymore. He has gone through jobs most of his life, but always found a different one, until this all began with his mistress, about the no cats rule. I did not want to bring up the cats that much since I feel the main subject was lack of rent, but they ended up getting a kitten 1 month ago. I found out about it after a post I saw on Instagram. I asked them to remove it from the property since I'm allergic, which is why I say no cats. His mistress told me it's her emotional support animal. Keep in mind, I have received no written notices or paperwork for the cat, showing that just her response for not getting rid of the cat. I'm sure if the cat peed, lost hairs, so on in the house, those rooms will have to be deep cleaned and the carpet will have to be replaced. It's not a small allergy. I get shots on a monthly basis to help with it, but I still have to be careful about the warrants. Yes, they do. I have no idea they got in trouble. My dad knew and kept it from me. My mom, on the other hand, thinks this is deserved after all he had put his wife and kids through. I'm not allowed to enter my rental until Sunday. I don't know if my cousin will be out by jail by then. I kind of feel bad for feeling this way, but I hope I don't see him. I don't want any more drama. His wife asked if she could move in the rental since it's on the same street as my parents and her parents. I told her to let me think about it. She is just a good person. I just don't know if I want to rent to family anymore. It's been a complete nightmare. Here is the update for this week. The constable and we showed up to the property. He told them they had 1 minute to grab whatever and leave. My cousins went off. I sat in the car. My cousins started threatening me. I had never seen him act so horrible. I just sat in the car not replying. Then he just started smoking, not packing anything. His mistress was screaming from the house, saying, "You told me I would never have to move. You told me your brother wouldn't evict me." My cousin slammed the door in the constable's face and locked it, refused to leave. At the time, additional police were called. My cousin's response was yelling. He was going to knock me out. He has a gun and will use it on me. Again, he has never treated me this way, so the police asked me to leave and go get lunch in hopes that he would calm down. Nope, it did not work. They had to knock the front door in. They gave his mistress 45 minutes to pack things. She did not. She just sat in the car sad. We changed the locks, cleaned open food up. Then on Monday, I got a call from the constable saying they needed to get an inhaler. I'm not required to give them medicine. I'm required to give them their identification. However, I drove 5 hours back, loaded all medicine in a box, put all important documents in another box. Told the constable I was ready. They showed up quickly. He handed them the boxes and they had another meltdown, calling names, more threats, because they wanted to go into the house. I was told to set up secret cameras and they were watching me and know I touched their stuff. The constable told them it was illegal to secretly record on private property and they could go to jail for maximum 1 year. Then my cousin started walking towards the constable in an aggressive manner, so I called the police. My cousin told them to arrest me. The police told him I wasn't the one going to jail. His mistress took the boxes and left while screaming. I know I have to see them again, but I am thinking about filing a restraining order against them. The police recommended I do that.